Are we ready?
You look sweaty.
Me or you?
Both. Both, maybe.
Someone else get it from mom? Oh, it's right there.
Kept us standing by your light.
And just like it's
You were always the one to sacrifice. Whether it be for your kids or wife, you gave your soul, you gave your life. You love to sing, even if off key. It didn't matter where you'd be, and how you loved your football games. Saskatchewan will never be the same.
because I still remember.
And when you're cold, don't it ain't no better. You are the light in any weather. Through the storms or when it shines, you left us richer
Stash.
than any
Stashes of
gold
horror.
mine. Let's talk about Christmas and your love of lights. Come early November, your house shone bright. Good thing Christmas trees are fake, 'cause you leave yours up till March break. You raised 3 daughters, they grew up fast. Corny sense of humor made you laugh. Nikki can now stand on her own. Shauna's got your stubbornness down to the bone. 'Cause when you're cold, it ain't all better. You are the light through any weather.
When we have chance to look at Chits and Miracles.
Through the storms when it shines, you left us richer than any gold mine. When Diane took your heart, you treated her right. Treated her right, right from the start. When you're gold, it ain't no better.
The hair difference for my
You are the light through any weather. Through the storms when it shines, you left us richer than any gold mine. Through the storms when it shines, you left us richer
I think it's all big.
than any gold mine.
Yay! Thank you to Valillee. Alright.
That was nice.
This is from Gracie. She wrote to us, "This is for Brad Gold. Hi, I know you can't hear this, but we are all happy that you gave my dad help when he needed help, and to thank you. I picked this D&D night to dedicate towards Brad Gold."
Are we arrested? What? I don't know. Okay. All right. They're all the photos that we could find with each of the grandkids particular. So Caden's got pictures of Grampy and him in it. And Ivy's got pictures of her with Grampy. There's spare parts in the back that you can turn around and write notes or letters to Grampy and just tuck them in.
Or drawings.
Or drawings. Oliver can draw Grampy some pictures and put them in.
Getting
right?
really good at drawing.
Yeah. Whoops, yeah. So lots of memories there, okay? Hope you guys like them.
What do you guys say?
Thanks.
Speaking of memories, we're not doing a eulogy per se. What we did was get a lot of people who knew him to write memories, different things, and we collected them, and so we'll hand out a few. Who wants to read a few? Courtney will read a few. You want to read a few? Hopefully you can read the writing. You'll read a few? Shauna?
I guess so.
Huh?
I guess so. Can she read? No.
Better listen.
Yeah,
read you?
I'm not in that.
Does that track?
Okay, we're good.
I'll take margin.
How
come you gave me the really long ones?
Okay,
Don't worry, Mom,
we'll
I think I
start
got
with
long ones too.
we'll
Alright.
start with Courtney.
We'll start
We gotta
me?
get to her.
Hi, Ricky.
Where's the other ones of these?
Carolyn from the co-op said, I really liked Brad and enjoyed when he would come into the co-op. He would always make us laugh. He will never be forgotten, and I still see him out of the corner of my eye walking into the store. My thoughts are with all of you. Oh god, this one's the long one. Candy Fitzgerald said, Brad was the best person for Diane, and I knew you were happy with him. I wish you weren't going through this heartache and that he was still here with you in person. I wish I'd gotten to know him better because he won me over the times I did talk via Facebook or in person. He was the best man for you, and I wanted you to know that I still love you like family. Oh god, it got longer. Joe Sangster said, if anything, I remember endless hours of Quake and Unreal tournament gaming. While Brad was staying with us going to school, Dal, I think, been ages. It was solely because of him we ended up with a slew of network cables strewn about, and a cable modem. It's because of him Chris used to Charlie horse me when I got a kill on him. Brad, however, he would just proclaim it was luck and it wouldn't last. If not that, it was Duke Nukem at times as well. There was endless yelling and laughing while we nerded out on computers.
And look. This is from a Kirsten. I do not know a Kirsten, but
That's one of my friends.
This memory is one of the mornings Courtney and I were on a video call and she was playing Queen and we were both dancing and singing to it. I just remember seeing him dancing in the background and it made me laugh so much. He was always good at making us laugh and he helped us a lot on calls even if it was just goofy comments to make us both smile. This one is Amber. I still remember his Tony Stark cosplay and still talk about it with my mom all the time. I was so excited to see the end product, it looked so good. And then it's my turn.
No. A couple more years, I think you can read.
The memory I have of Brad was when Courtney, him, and I used to play GTA Online together. We used to have hours of fun together just messing around. It was really sad when I learned what happened to her father. I know I can't be here there physically to give my condolences, so I took a picture of my character in GTA paying his respects. My wishes and thoughts are with you, Courtney, and your family. I'll always be there for Courtney. I hope he is flying high in the sky. From Mikey. This one is from Lexi. I came over so Courtney could help me make a sign for display on Pi Day. I was gonna be over for supper, and although I didn't want to burden you guys with getting me food for supper, he insisted on feeding me. Even when I told him I already had supper, he said rice isn't supper, and went out and got us all fried chicken.
That sounds right.
Not only that, but he proceeded to tell some of his funniest dad jokes I have ever heard. I don't have the best memory, but that is something that will always stay with me.
Thank you,
That's
Peter.
all? Thank you.
Good job,
Shauna.
This is from Cindy T. I just want you to know I'm thinking of you and your family today. Brad was one of a kind, always smiling and happy. One of the few people I knew that would wear shorts when everyone else was freezing. You two had a special love and an amazing relationship. Your marriage was an inspiration for many. I hope you can find comfort in all the good memories you made with him. Take care. This is
Sit down, please.
from Amy. Mr. Amy? You are a strong, beautiful person. I remember the shopping trips in Wainwright with you guys. I never laughed so hard. Brad was always a smartass, and you never knew what was going to come out of his mouth. I still get emotional thinking about him and still can't believe he is gone, but never will be forgotten. I know he is watching down on us and shaking his head at the foolish things we do. I should say I do. This is from Ben. As I sat this past weekend making maple syrup, I was thinking of Brad, thinking that he might have enjoyed sitting with me. The crackling of the fire, the bubbling of the sap boiling on the wood stove, and the sweet aroma of maple syrup in the air. Then my thoughts turned to when we were younger. I remember a lot of things, I just couldn't pick one story. I remember camping trips, fishing, walking with me down to Uncle Marshall's, summer days, haying at Uncle Oscar's and Grampy's. I remember Brad made me my first mixed music tape for my stereo because I didn't know how. He was very patient when he tried to teach me how to play D&D. One thing I can say is I always felt he had my back if I needed him. He would be there. I know this is not long, but I find it hard to recall. Unfortunately, we didn't get a lot of time to spend together growing up. Then I thought of all that I was hoping to do if we had the chance. Fishing trip, hunting trip, or just a visit. Birthdays won't be the same without happy... I can't say that! Happy Expulsion Day.
How do you wish happy birthday to everybody?
Yeah, but no, I got kids here.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
We all know what he said.
Yes, this is from Brianna. I didn't know Brad well. I had only talked to him twice and had heard a few stories about him from family. But the second time he talked to me, I will carry with me. I am a university student, and when he heard that from my dad, he asked me all kinds of questions and showed interest. When I told him that I wanted to teach math to high school students, he encouraged me. He didn't know me well, but he said that he had great faith that I would be a great teacher and that I would be a great influence in students' lives eventually. It really touched me and motivated me to know that he believed in my dreams and thought I would be an amazing teacher. I will never forget that conversation.
Diane, the galaxy will keep an eye out on Brad, and he will be having fun chasing stars up above. There are a lot of friends and family that will help you in any way that they can. Just ask. Smiley face. From Linda. Miss you, Brad.
Can I have that back?
Diane and family. I knew Brad as a very friendly, happy man, willing to help anyone at any time. Diane's smile when talking about him told me what I what a wonderful and loved man he must have been. He was very patient with me when I would have asked about what he. Man, this person is crazy. He was very patient. He was very patient with me when I would ask him about what he probably thought were pretty simple. Oh, computer questions. Brad was Brad and will be missed dearly. Rest in peace, Brad. Marie Poland? That's a nice person.
It's a lost art.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I hope I didn't give the kids any cursive there.
I guess after all this time, I think what stands out in my memory the most is all of the amazing times Tony and I would come over for games night. We always had a lot of fun and laughs no matter what game we were playing. You and Brad were so much fun to spend time with. He was such a huge personality. From Cinnamon?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friend of ours.
Oh.
Nova Scotia.
I remember her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did she have a daughter?
Yep. Caitlin.
Her daughter
He
played in
played.
the pool with me.
Unfortunately, I didn't get to work with Brad very long, but what I can say is Brad was a person that place really needed. He seemed to bring a different vibe to wherever he was. He made everyone around him very happy and was always making jokes, which again, that place needed. Definitely one of a kind, and he will truly be missed by all who knew him. My deepest condolences to you, Diane, and the rest of the family. God bless, and you are always in my thoughts and prayers. From Ken.
And Alice.
He gave me all the cursive ones. Okay, this is what Nanny's been training me for all these years.
Yeah.
Brad Gold was a very friendly person and liked to laugh. That is true. He will be remembered and missed at Walmart. May he rest in peace. Sincerely, Deb Lupert?
Lupert. Cashier Deb.
Deb?
Oh, it's because my lock button is being pressed down, and if you're like in an emergency, that's what you're supposed to do, and it'll like call 911. So that's
I hope it ain't called
Please
911. We
no,
don't need
you have to like swipe
no.
on it.
We already did that last time.
I know.
Well, Oliver did.
I appreciated Brad when he worked with me in the cooler freezer bakery department. Always willing to work hard and contributed to the department greatly. When he left to go on the mod team, I missed him and it showed in the department. My condolences to Diane and family. From Darren.
That's it?
That's it. It passed.
Okay. Brad, you and Diane had the brightest and prettiest Christmas lights. I remember you talking about getting the lights up quick before it turns cold. I remember you saying it was for the grandkids, but I think it was for you too. That's from Linda. And my memory of Brad was when I wanted to buy a computer laptop and didn't have sniff about it. I asked Brad if he knew anything about them, and he gave me that duh, I'm a computer nerd look. He recommended a few different types explaining different technical terms, which today I still don't understand them. I was smiling and nodding like I understood what he was saying. Well, Brad, I still don't have a computer. I guess I should have listened more carefully. Miss ya, and that's Linda again. I guess she had a lot of memories.
That's good.
When I was working on the yellow team, a customer asked me about a laptop. I said, just a minute, and called Brad. The customer bought what he recommended and left. I thanked Brad for helping. A few days later, I seen the same customer and asked how the computer was. She smiled and said, perfect. The guy who helped me is very smart and kind, and that's hard to find. Hard to find help in a small town or someone who is smart with computers. We both laughed and she told me to thank you, and I did. and Linda again. All right, this was an anonymous one. I don't know who wrote it, but they didn't sign it, and that's cool. Said, I remember all the time and effort Brad put into making sure he photoshopped the associates who weren't wearing red for the Canada Day poster, so that when he was done, they appeared to be in red. A very time-consuming project for sure. He took pride in making sure it was done right. And then Courtney has a few more I passed off to her.
Gina says, it is my prayer that God will comfort you, Diane, and your whole family during this sad time. May He richly bless you as you mourn, and may the light of His presence be a continual source of consolation. It's okay, I'm learning how to read.
You all were plugging me.
Okay. Both of these are from Nanny Fanjoy. First one says, when Brad was around 2 years old, we lived in Dartmouth on a dead-end street, and he was outside playing. He was dressed in a white shirt, gray shorts, and white socks, and off he went to play. When I called him in, he came back, and the only thing white on him was the whites of his eyes. I asked him what happened, and he happily replied he was playing in sand. Turns out it wasn't sand, but it was a pile of ash they had thrown out in the neighbor's yard. I had to bathe him 3 times and throw out his clothes. The other one says, when Brad was 3 years old, he wanted a fudge stick. I put Beth in the carriage, and off we walked on this hot day to the store. I bought him a fudgesicle and told him to be careful and lick it slowly. He took the fudgesicle and stuck most of it in his mouth. Being a hot day and the fudgesicle being so cold, it behaved just like when you stick your tongue to a flagpole in the winter. It froze there, and I had to put spit on my finger and put it around the fudgesicle so we could unfreeze him from his mouth. Alright, that's all I got.
Well, that's the memories people shared. And Caden's gonna read for us a memory that, well, not a memory, but a poem that Brad wrote himself.
All my songs have been sung, no new stories to tell. I'm not the man I was, I can hear the ringing of the bell. I am in the autumn of my life, my leaves lay all around. The branches are stripped bare, my feet upon the ground. The sun is setting, the sky afire, the darkness comes to the skies, with the promise of a new tomorrow, but I can't see the sunrise. I wish I had the answers to the questions on your mind, but I grow wary of my darkness, don't know what I will find. Don't want to say goodbye, don't want to say farewell, I just want to sleep, no more stories to tell.
Caden? After he passed, I didn't know what to do with his stuff. I had no problem getting rid of the pants and stuff, but then I decided I can't get rid of his shirts. So I enlisted the help of a very nice woman. I don't want to to beg, but so she passed this to me yesterday.
Yes, sir.
It's completely done, and it's of the shirts he wore throughout his time. Lots of memories.
That is so nice.
Lots of love.
What is that?
It's a
all his
blanket
shirts.
made of the Grampy's shirts.
Oh.
Your
Wanna
opinion
touch it?
matters just not to me.
Be careful.
That was him.
Can you hear him saying it?
Yeah. So yeah, she did a wonderful
That
job.
is wonderful.
Did lots of work. Has rushed it as much as she could to make sure it was here for the unveiling. And she she hoped y'all liked it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
That is really nice. What a good idea.
Ella's favorite shirt.
So lots of love
in there. And as warm as it is, I think the last thing is back in the house.
Oh, the slideshow?
Am I forgetting something? No, then that's the last.
Well, was that the unveiling of the surprise thing?
We're all gonna sit on you.
Yeah. So it's all good now.
We're all fart on you.
Just let us know when you're ready.
You want to sit with Oliver and Oliver can sit on the lap?
I can breathe.
Shut up. Nobody was even anymore. Sitting on you. One is a little fatter.
Okay. I want to sit with you guys.
Get ready for the waterworks. You're gonna watch us. You're gonna watch a bunch of pictures of Dad. Not Dad. Grampy. My dad. Okay. Well, where's the next? Let me get prepared. Okay. Everybody ready? Yep. Go for it. We're prepared. Okay, I'm good. No. Turn up what you need to.
May the good Lord be with you down every road you roam. And may sunshine and happiness surround you when you're far from home. And may you grow to be proud, dignified and true. Do unto others as you'd have done to you. Be courageous and be brave, and in my heart you'll always stay forever young, forever young. May good fortune be with you, may your guiding light be strong. Build a stairway to heaven with a prince or a vagabond. And may you never love in vain, and in my heart you'll always remain forever young, forever young, forever young, forever young. And when you finally fly away, I'll be hoping that I served you well. For all the wisdom of a lifetime, no one can ever tell. But whatever road you choose, I'm not behind you, win or lose. Forever young, forever young, forever young, forever young.
the mullet.
Time is going by so much faster than I'm starting to regret not spending all of it with you. Now I'm wondering why I've put this bottle inside. So I'm starting to regret not selling all of it to you. So if I haven't yet, I've got to let you know you're never gonna be alone. From this moment on, if you ever feel like letting go, I won't let you fall. You're never gonna be alone. I'll hold you till the hurt is gone. And now, as long as I can, I'm holding on with both hands. 'Cause forever I believe that there's nothing I could need but you. So if I haven't yet, I've gotta let you know you're never gonna be alone. From this moment on, if you ever feel like letting go, I won't let you fall. When all hope is gone, I know that you can carry on. We're gonna take the world on. I'll hold you till the hurt is gone. You gotta live every single day like it's the only one. What if tomorrow never comes? Don't let it slip away. Could be our only one. You know it's only just begun. Every single day, maybe our only one. What if tomorrow never comes? Tomorrow never comes. Time is going by so much faster than I'm starting to regret not telling all of this to you. You're never gonna be alone. From this moment on, if you ever feel like letting go, I won't let you fall. When all hope is gone, I know that you can carry on. We're gonna take the world on. I'll hold you till the hurt is gone. I'm gonna be there I won't be missing one more day. I'm gonna be there I won't be missing one more day. Seems the sun never shines. And I tried. Lonely road. I got this feeling, but I gotta let you go. 'Cause now you got to fly, not to the hatred. Heaven awaits your heart, and flowers bloom in your name. Whoa, whoa. convince myself that the pain is still not gone. Still I drive down the slowly, lonely road. Oh, I got this feeling that I gotta let you go. But now you got to fly back to the angels. Heaven awaits your heart, and there was bloom in your name. Whoa, you can fly back to the angels.
I was gonna say at the very end. So hair than the facial hair. No. I thought you were deaf too. Just saying about that. There's all of it. You're so cute. What happened?
Still I drive oh, I got this feeling. Oh, I can't let you go. But I know that you got to fly back to the angels. Heaven awaits your heart, and there was bloom in your name. Well, you got to fly back to the angels. While the stars in the sky shine your It's hard for me
Oh yeah, I remember
to say
that.
the things
You
I
dropped
wanna
it, yeah.
say sometimes. There's no one here, you and me. The broken old street lights like the doors leave the world. All I've got is you. These 5 words a night. Thank you for loving me, for being my eyes. I couldn't see for parting my lips when I couldn't breathe. Thank you for loving me. If you're gone before I wake up, just promise that you'll be okay, love. Too many times you left me better. We need to share this one together. So I will wait for you. This love was made for two. And I'll hold on this time. No, I won't leave you behind. I will wait for you. I promise, darling, that I won't sleep until we reach the highest mountain peak. Thanks for the times that you were there for me. So let me pay back all your charity. So I will wait for you. This love was made for two. And I'll hold on this time. No, I won't leave you behind. And girl, I've been so cruel. I broke the golden rule. So shame on me for leaving you this way. I've done this all before. I've left you wanting more. And we both know that fools rush in. I will wait for you. I will wait for you. I'll hold on this time. And I won't leave you behind. I will wait for you. I will wait for you. Wait for you. I will wait for you.
Ready? You ready?
Oh,
Thanks.
can we
Yes,
go
that was a very
outside
good job.
now? Yay. We're going outside now.
Now you have to go outside. Really?
At least we're prepared for cutting them later.
For story?
There's room for
About what? Yes.
It's a story that Brad's best friend wrote.
Grampy.
Grampy's best friend. So, it's called Two Old Men. The man woke suddenly from a deep slumber, his head heavy and aching. With great effort, he propped himself up onto an elbow and took in the small chamber in confusion. His dark eyes squinted through the considerable pain, and he realized he did not know his place at all. Where was he? His last memories were like fleeting images of a dream. He remembered only a moment ago that he was in a different bed, and he was dying. There was a woman sitting next to him weeping, holding his thick hand in hers. He did not know her, but somehow he knew that he loved her. With her he felt such an overwhelming sense of peace that he desperately wanted to go back. He eased down into the strange bed again and tried to force himself back to sleep. The man lay there in considerable amount of time trying to relax, but sleep did not find him. Frustrated and angry, he threw the bedclothes off and sat up. He swooned as blackness crept into the edges of his vision, and he almost lost his consciousness. It was only then that he realized just how much pain he was in. His lungs burned and he had a horribly sharp pain in his lower abdomen and back. He looked down and saw a garish purple scars across his chest and belly, stretching all the way around his right side of his lower back. Had he been in a battle? He did not know. All he remembered was the woman, and it was so real. "Gods, what happened to me?" he said out loud. He swung his legs off the bed and placed his feet on the fur rug beside it. After rubbing his face vigorously to wake himself up, he looked around the meager room once again. It was a small but comfortable room, only furnished with necessities. A night table with a wash basin sat next to the bed, and a small chair and table adorned with a candle. Some parchment and a quill and ink was directly in front of him. Immediately to the left of that was the room's door. To his left, at the foot of the bed, rested a sturdy chest, closed with a bedpan and a bundle of clothes on top. Beyond that, on the wall, was a tall wardrobe with a full-length mirror, the mirror where he saw his reflection for the first time. The man stared at it for a moment, confused, as if he was looking at a stranger staring through a window. He stood on legs that almost did not support him, and he made his way unsteadily across the room. He stood there staring at himself, perplexed. He placed one hand on his whiskered jaw, and the other hand reached tentatively towards the silvery glass in front of him. The way the image moved in unison confirmed that this was not a stranger, it was him, but he did not recognize his face. He took a step back from the mirror to look at himself. Once again his hand went to his face, feeling the sharp jawline under the gray and black beard. The man was shirtless, and even though the belly was somewhat rounded, his hairy chest, shoulders, and arms were thick with corded muscle. He looked down at his legs under the light sleeping britches. They were like tree stumps, powerful and so thick with dark hair that someone seeing them from afar might think he was wearing dark leggings. He had a sense that he was old, more than 50, and past the prime of his life, but by the gods he did not look like it. He ran his hand through his thick mane of black hair, silvering gracefully with age, and blew out a short whistle. His eyes shined, and he smiled, bearing a chipped right front tooth and wide dimples still visible under the scruffy beard. "Where and who in the hells am I?" He turned, looking around the room, more awake now, searching for clues. He stiffly walked to the room's only window, threw aside the thin drapes, and pushed it open. The warmth of the sun, the smell of the salt air, and the sound of the gulls greeted him. He felt a strange combination of joy and sadness in that moment. It was as if he had come home after an exceptional long time away, with the emptiness one would feel when they left home, knowing they would never return. He backed away from the window and sat down on the bed. It was not just that, he thought. No, it was a much deeper and profound sense of loss, like the loss of a loving family, wife, children, grandchildren. However, he could not remember having family before. Gods, what a dream, he thought again, and sat there for a long while thinking. The old man eventually stood and made his way to the neat pile of clothes at the foot of his bed. He marveled how fine they were, black with gold inlaid stitches, something a man of some importance might wear. He pulled on the trousers, shirt, and jerkin, and then opened the chest. Inside he found black, high, soft leather boots, a long black leather sleeveless overcoat, and a very decorative sheath dagger on a wide belt. After making his outfit complete, he turned to look at himself in the mirror once again. Even unshaven with messy hair, he caught quite a figure in his finery. Placing his thumbs in the belt loops, he struck a pose and smiled. He looked curiously at the reflection on the belt buckle, noticing for the first time it was intricately designed with a set of initials, DK. A loud knock at his chamber door pulled him from any further contemplation on the buckle. "Donovan," came a voice from the other side of the door. "Donovan, are you in there?" The knock came again, this time louder. "Donovan, it's Gideon." I just sailed in and heard you were in port and wounded. Donovan, the old man thought, with the tiniest spark of recognition. Donovan. He looked down at his decorative buckle, DK, DK, and his mind raced. Donovan Cale. Another knock this time, even louder. Donovan! The voice was urgent and concerned, but suddenly familiar, and though the old man could not place it, he knew this person was once close to him. Shaking the constant questions from his head, he stepped toward the door and opened it. The man on the other side of the door was half a foot taller, but about the same age. Bald head, broad shoulders. Gideon looked at the old man and smiled wide, his blue eyes wrinkling in the corners. It's so good to see you again, the armored man said, placing his huge war hammer against the wall outside the door, then burying him in a crushing hug. The old man winced from the pain in his chest and abdomen, and Gideon backed away in shock. Forgive me, my friend. I was overcome with joy and forgot what I was just told on my way here to see you. I heard you battled that demon on the prairie. Your crew thought it would kill you. My crew, Donovan, yes, instinctively he felt his name was indeed Donovan, thought. Another mystery. Gideon held Donovan at an arm's length, looking him up and down. Well, we are together once again, my brother. I have you now. Donovan looked at Gideon for a long moment, eyes studying him. I do know you, recognition creeping into the edges of his voice. We were very close once, many years ago. Gideon raised an eyebrow. Yes, we came of age together, and for the first time he noticed that something was not quite right with his old friend. You are alive, but are you well? Yes, I'm fine, Donovan said, shaking his head. Just a little confused. And then turned toward the mirror, looking at himself as if he were still trying to reconcile the image that stared back at him. I feel as if I have been asleep for years. Shake the cobwebs from your head, my friend, Gideon interrupted Donovan's pensive stare. You're needed at the helm of the Rough Rider. She set sail at noon. Another flash of recognition jolted Donovan upon hearing the name of his ship. Images of sailing and flying. The Rough Rider came to him in a chaotic rush. The story was slowly starting to come together. Donovan gathered his things, then followed Gideon down the stairs of the inn and out the door to the busy streets of the port city. As they walked, Donovan looked at Gideon, hinged, gauntleted hand holding the massive warhammer, and a holy tome resting at his waist, strapped over his shoulder with a chain. A cleric, he stated, as much as asked. Gideon looked down at the holy book and smiled. Well, what can I say? Ao's always been there, knocking. I just decided to let him in and listen to what he was whispering to me since I was a boy. Gideon stopped for a moment, looked Donovan directly in the eye, and continued. I've lost people very dear to me. Some in a similar situation might use a god as a church, but it was vastly different for me. I was angry, furious in fact, but he dragged me out of the black place, lifted me up and gave me purpose. I still struggle, I always will, but for the first time I feel peace. Even in battle, when the blood is flowing amidst the screams of the dying, I feel righteousness and peace. Gideon smiled widely and clapped his friend on the shoulder, then motioned for them to continue walking. They continued walking through the thoughts racing through Donovan's head, trying to sort out the dream from actual memory. A short time later, they reached the harbor. There they saw her, the Rough Rider, the large galleon, her flag a mixture of green, white, and blue, flying wildly in the late morning breeze. Before long, the Rough Rider's crew noticed Donovan's approach and called out in recognition and rejoiced. Captain Cale! Donovan stopped at the sound of those greetings. They washed over him like a crashing wave on a beach. He remembered all of it. He remembered onwards. He remembered.
Can I see?
He remembered who he was, all the things he had done, who this man was who claimed to be his friend, all of his adventures. Tika,
his love, the heartache, the loss, all of it. He silently swore to himself.
You want me?
Me? That's so good. I'm sitting here like, I'm not crying.
Did you show her where?
Yeah, Tika, his love, the heartache, the loss, all of it. He silently swore to himself then that he would find Tika again and make amends. He knew he had to have that feeling again. The same feeling he had when he awoke this morning from his dream. His thoughts went to the woman in that dream. He felt an ache and longing for her, and a melancholy emptiness crept in momentarily. Another greeting of Captain Kale brought him from those musings, though. Donovan steadied himself and was confident that he would see this woman again when he dreamed. Gideon raised an eyebrow and smiled, gesturing with his right hand at the direction of the ship. After you, Captain Kale. Donovan obliged and took his first confident step since he awoke earlier that morning. There they strode, two old men, toward adventures they did not know, but with purpose and a spring in their step.
You want me to head on over there?
Huh?
Or is that...
That's it.
That's it? Okay. I thought she was like, I can't do this anymore.
No, that's the end.
It's really cold out.
That was from Mike Beaton.
But I don't want to go out the fire.
Wait, is Donovan Kale their Grampy's D&D name?
Yep.
Yeah. I spelled it wrong though.
Yeah, I know.
I was like, what the heck is T-I-K-A?
I know, but that's okay.
It's a game that you play like kind of imagination. Like you tell stories.
D&D.
Yeah, you pretend you're somebody like a fighter or a warrior or a healer or...
And somebody tells a story and you go on adventures.
So...
What are you guys doing?
We're going to do the fireworks when it gets a little darker, but we're going to hang out with the fire right now. And if you want some snacks,
I almost got through it. I
almost did it.
Until
I was sitting here like, I'm not crying, nobody knows I'm crying, and then he handed it to me and I'm like, fuck you!
That is cool that he's
No?
You kept us grounded by your light. You were always the one to sacrifice. Whether it be for your kids or wife, you gave your soul, you gave your life. You love to sing, even if off key. It didn't matter where you'd be, and how you loved your football game. Statue one will never be the same. 'Cause when you're cold, don't it ain't no better. You are the light in any weather. Through the storms when it shines, you left us richer than any gold mine. Let's talk about Christmas and your love of life.
That was awesome!
Come early November, your house shone bright. Good thing Christmas trees are fake. You should leave yours up till March break. Raised 3 daughters, they grew up fast. Corny sense of humor made you laugh. and they'll stand on the road.
Oh yeah! Do the small one.
Shauna's got your stubbornness down to the bone. 'Cause when you're cold, it ain't all better. You are alive through any weather. Through the storms and when it shines. Left us richer than any gold mine.
Awesome!
When dying to your heart, treat her right.
That was loud.
Treat her right, right from the start. When you're gold, ain't no better. You are the light through any weather.
That was awesome.
Through the storms when it shines. Left us richer than any gold mine. Through the storms when it shines. Left us richer than any gold mine.
I think that one was definitely Bobcat.
Yeah.
That was the big one. Or it was bad attitudes.
they're going to be blue.
Just imagine if like the Martians saw that. I would be surprised. What if NASA saw that?
That's all there is.
Now let's run before the popos come.
The two that would have enjoyed the evening the most aren't here.